It was billed as the biggest test of the season.
He's going 20 and 10. Zeke Elliott walked all the dogs.
They aced it.
I mean, it looked beautiful.
And that no-name defense is starting to shine.
Little pressure in the pocket. The avoid sack. Benson Mayo is going to get him.
The pressure that we were getting was awesome.
Now it's the Packers at Lambeau Field.
Look out. Knocked down in the backfield.
Can Zeke and the boys run against the stout Green Bay defense?
We've got a great offensive line. We go as they go.
And how do you stop this guy?
And Rodgers throwing to the end zone. Jordy Nelson for the touchdown.
Have to be a disciplined game for us.
You want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
It's another big test for your Cowboys. It's Cowboys-Packers on Cowboys Game Day.
Lambeau Field, 1265 Lombardi Avenue, Green Bay, Wisconsin, ready for a showdown of two of the most storied franchises in sports. It's the 34th all-time meeting between the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers, now less than 5 hours away. And welcome inside the CBS 11 studios for the only live and local Cowboys Sunday morning pregame show, Cowboys Game Day. Bill Jones along with the Manster, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, Randy White, who is ready for those Packers. If only we could suit you up today, Randy.
It's an exciting game, Bill. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a good one. One of those smash mouth type games, the offensive line, the defensive line. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one plays out.
And the Cowboys come in with a 4-1 record. The Packers are at 3-1 on the season. And Randy texted me during the Cincinnati game last week that this Cowboys team is for real. But Keith Russell is live at Lambeau, traveling with the Cowboys on the team charter yesterday. And Keith, I would imagine even 5 hours before kickoff, you've probably already seen a cheesehead or two in Green Bay, right?
Oh, I'm so sick of cheese, Bill. I'm sick of it. I do like cheese, but I'm sick of seeing it. It's everywhere. I'm tired of the holes. I'm tired of the Swiss. I'm tired of the cheddar. I'm tired of the American. I don't want cheese anymore. That was cheesy, by the way. Meantime, behind me, we all remember this scene. 2 years ago in the playoffs, Dez Bryant, was it a catch? Possibly it was a catch. People still saying it was a catch. Packers fans saying it wasn't. Cowboys fans saying it was. Years from now, it'll probably be determined that it was a catch. It defined the Cowboys franchise. And now the Cowboys about to define their franchise in a different way, because we don't know if Dez Bryant is going to play today. We do know that dynamic rookie duo of Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott will take the field. And here's the battle within the battle today. Number one rushing offense in football, Zeke Elliott. Guy averaging 22 carries a game, 5 carries, 5 yards a carry. The Packers defense giving up 42 yards rushing a game, less than 2 yards a carry. That's strength against strength. That's mano-a-mano. The best meets the best. What's going to go down, we're going to see at 325.
It's physical. They're physical. They're good in the middle. They're interior. They got a lot of great players over there. So just going to be, who's going to be the most physical out there.
We just focus on us. I think we take what they do, just as we do every week, and we try and figure out ways that we can work around that, and then focus on doing the things that we do and being able to execute.
I think it's almost like that every week. I mean, Cincinnati was a great front seven. We know it's going to be a challenge on the road. I mean, they're strong. They do a good job bringing a lot of different looks. But, I mean, we always say as an offense, we've got to focus on us.
So when I was thinking about today's game on my way to Lambeau Field, I thought about all the times in my recent memory when the number one run offense has gone up against the number one run defense. And the only time where I remember a running back really taking it to that defense was Emmitt Smith back in the day against those Philadelphia Eagles and that vaunted 46 defense. The Cowboys' offensive line always was more dominant than the Eagles' defensive line. I just wonder, fellas, if that will be the case today. Bill Jones, Randy White, specifically you, Hall of Famer Randy White, when you went up against a number one rushing attack, what did you, how much motivation did you take onto that field?
Well, I mean, this is what you look forward to. You get a number one offense and number one defense. It's a monitor. You find out where you are. This is the guys you want to play against. I want to play against the guys that are the best, because then that lets me know where I stand. So you know, this game today, it's going to be won in the trenches. We always say that. It's going to be won on the line of scrimmage. But I tell you, this Green Bay defense, what I've seen of them, they stuff everybody on the line of scrimmage. They've been controlling the line of scrimmage, Bill, and we're going to have to get some movement up there if we're going to run that football.
Well, let's see if they can stop Zeke today and the Cowboys' offensive line. But those two big guys in the middle, I know you've looked at the tape on both of those guys. Mike Daniels, number 76, and Kenny Clark, number 97. Those are two immovable objects in there.
They have been, Bill, and, you know, and they've got 4 guys tied up blocking 2, and they're not enabling them to slide off them blocks and pick up those linebackers and those outside linebackers, and they're right in the hole making plays. So I see why this Green Bay defense has been able to get away with stopping teams. What, they get 46 yards a game?
Yeah, it's 42.
Like
it's
that.
number 1 in the league, their run defense. Of course, the Cowboys have the number 1 run offense in the league, and it seems like week to week, Zeke Elliott just gains more and more confidence. He's now got 3 straight games with not 100 yards or more. He's got 130 yards or more in 3 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, he's done an excellent job, and that's a tribute to him, but also that offensive line up front with the job they've been doing. Now, today, we'll see what he can do. I personally think our offensive line is going to be able to match up well with this Green Bay defense. What they've played against it so far has been a backup running back every week, and they haven't faced an offensive line like we have. So we're going to see how good our offensive line is.
Well, you alluded to it, the Packers defense, and yes, they do have the number 1 run defense, but we've done the research on it. Their first 4 games of this season, who have they not faced? Well, Jacksonville's lead running back, Chris Ivory, was out in the season opener. Adrian Peterson was held to only 19 yards on 12 carries. Give the Packers credit for that. He got hurt. They did not face him in the second half. Amir Abdullah was out for Detroit the next week. And then last week, the Giants didn't have Rashad Jennings or Shane Vereen. But you say it doesn't matter. The Packers are playing well. They're beating up the offensive line that faces them. But this Cowboys offensive line is playing as well in the run game as we've seen them play. They came into the league rated the number 1 offensive line in football, but they've really proved it here the last 3 weeks in the run game, haven't they, Randy?
They've proved it, Bill. That's the main thing. These last 3 or 4 weeks, these guys have stepped up, and they're knocking people off the line of scrimmage. They're making blocks downfield. So we'll see. If they can do that today, we'll be able to run the football, and our offense will gel, and we'll be able to put some points on the board and have a good chance of beating these Green Bay Packers.
I don't think you can find an offensive lineman in the league playing any better than what Zach Martin is at right guard for the Cowboys right now. All right, how about the pass offense for the Cowboys? Dak Prescott comes through again with another stellar performance a week ago against the Bengals. Still no interceptions. He did have the 1 turnover, but the Cowboys were already up 21 or 28 points at that point in the game. It's just remarkable how this rookie is playing, Randy.
No, he's done a fabulous job, Bill, and it's a testament to him, to this Cowboys coaching staff, because, you know, they've had to do an excellent job in preparing him. But he's gone out there and executed on this big stage and he's done a great job. And he's got this team playing behind him. They're all pulling for each other. I mean, what I see now is an excited football team, and I see a team, something that I hadn't seen around here for a while. I see a team. Look at this celebration in the end zone. Hey, this is what it's all about. This is the kind of enthusiasm you got to play this game with, and excitement you got to play this game with. It's fun to watch it.
Late in the second quarter of that game against Cincinnati, Randy texted me, and that's exactly what he said in his text. We finally have a team here. We have a real team with about 6 exclamation points. Do you think the rookies infuse that? Guys like Dak and Zeke, and it kind of energizes the whole team?
Without a doubt, Bill. I think the enthusiasm of these young guys have brought to this team and the uplift. I mean, I think we're watching a Rocky movie, man. It's like a Rocky movie, and he's winning his first few fights, and he's starting to go, man. I just want to see the end of it.
All right. Well, Dez Bryant, okay, Dez looked good in practice. The little bit of practice that the media can watch this week, he was running routes. He was doing things on the side, basically. He wasn't running routes with the team or anything, but I think he looks good. However, it appears that he will not play today. I think they're gonna go with a precautionary move here and hold him out today. He will warm up prior to the game, but if he doesn't play today, he gets 2 more weeks, and I think there is, according to some doctors out there, there is a chance he could hurt it further if he did have an injury suffered like he did a few weeks ago.
That's smart. That's smart. I tell you, these guys have been playing well. You know, Dez adds something when he's in there, but hey, take that little extra time. It's a long season. We look like we're going to be in the middle of it. We need him at the end of the season healthy, making big plays.
However, this is a big game today against the Packers. Could have some playoff implications. And coming up, we head back out to Lambeau Field and discuss the great quarterback debate. Dak or Tony? Who is it? But first, time for our Wingstop trivia question. The Cowboys are 1-9 all-time at Lambeau Field. Who's the only Dallas quarterback to beat the Packers at Lambeau? The answer after the break. The only one to beat the Packers at Lambeau. I wonder how far back in the archives you have to go for that.
I don't know, Bill. I don't know. I don't remember
You're
him playing there at Lambeau.
In our Wingstop trivia question, we told you the Cowboys are 1-9 all-time at Lambeau Field. Who is the only Dallas quarterback to beat the Packers at Lambeau? Well, Tony Romo in 2008.
This is Tony's team. I think I knew that going into the situation. I think everybody knew that. I'm just trying to do the best I can to give my team a chance to win week in and week out.
It's Tony's team, but it's Dak's game today. Welcome back to Cowboys Game Day. Bill Jones, Randy White, and Keith Russell live at Lambeau Field as we get you set for this afternoon's 3:25 kickoff. It's the Cowboys and the Packers, and it's the great quarterback debate. When Tony Romo is healthy, which is not today, maybe it will be in 2 weeks against Philadelphia, maybe 3 weeks against Cleveland. Who should start at quarterback? Let's open the discussion with Keith in Green Bay. Keith, what do you think?
Bill, I think who should start depends on what happens between now and when Tony Romo is officially ready to play. If the Cowboys win today, if they win 5 in a row, they're 5-1. Let's say Tony Romo's not ready until November 6th against Cleveland. Let's say the Cowboys then come out of that bye and win against Philadelphia. Let's say they're 6-1. I think hands down, if the Cowboys are 6-1, you have to stick with Dak Prescott. Forget that stuff about you don't lose your job due to injury. Forget that stuff about it's Tony Romo's team and Tony is better than Dak when he's completely healthy. 6-1 is 6-1. If they lose today and they lose against Philadelphia, I think the argument is over just like that.
All right, Randy, what do you think?
Oh, Bill, I'll tell you.
Let me put you on the spot, Randy.
Well, no, you got to play the guy you think gives you the best chance to win the football game. Now, it is fun watching Dak. I think he's created some excitement with this football team that I haven't seen in a long time. Now, somebody else is going to make that decision. But, if I had to make it, similar to what Keith said, we'll see where we are in a couple weeks, and then, right. we go from there.
Now, Roger Staubach the other day said he'd lean toward playing the hot hand and see how it goes for a little bit. The beauty of this whole situation is the play of Dak Prescott, the rookie, is buying the Cowboys some time, buying Tony Romo some time to actually not only get healthy, but get his timing down with his receivers whenever he comes back to the lineup.
Bill, there you go. Now, is he really ready to go? Can he get himself in game shape, get himself his timing, everything down the way? You don't get that sitting on the sidelines recovering from injuries. You get that what Dak's getting. He's growing every week from playing. You got to play to get that. It just don't happen. There's no light switch you switch and then, okay, I'm ready to go play and win a Super Bowl. No, it don't work that way.
All right, coming up, how about that Cowboys defense? And what's the secret to stopping Aaron Rodgers, the Manster, with the answer? And I think he's chomping at the bit, especially about that this morning.
It's time for the Nissan On the Road Report. Shop ChooseNissan.com today.
Lambeau Field, the site for Cowboys Packers. Welcome back to Cowboys Game Day. Bill Jones and Randy White here in the CBS 11 studios, and we've got Keith Russell live with the Cowboys at Lambeau Field on this Sunday morning. It's a 3:25 kickoff this afternoon. The Packers will be honoring Brett Favre at halftime today on his Hall of Fame induction. But Keith Russell joins us live once again now, talking some Aaron Rodgers, and the Cowboys hope a lot of people aren't talking Aaron Rodgers by the end of this day. Keith?
Bill, every time the Cowboys meet the Packers, we end up talking about Aaron Rodgers. The Packers have won the last 4 meetings in this series, and Aaron Rodgers, he's unstoppable against the Cowboys. He's unstoppable against almost everyone. But against the Cowboys, his career stat line, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Cowboys have never had an answer for this guy. And it's simple, not just his drop back in the packet, laser sharp accuracy. It's when he gets out of that pocket and starts moving and the Cowboys defenders get out of place. They know how dangerous he is. In fact, at times in the past, they seem like they played in awe of this guy. And they are committed to making sure that doesn't happen this time.
It's going to be a big challenge for us. It's going to be a big challenge for our secondary, for our defense, as a whole. And, it's going to be a very disciplined game for us.
You have to be able to work together. You just have to be able to trust the man next to you, that they're going to take care of their responsibility, and then you can focus 100% on your responsibility.
Keep them in the pocket. Don't let them make people miss and then scramble and then throw one deep. That's where you make all these big plays.
You want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
So far this year, we know the Cowboys defense has been very opportunistic. I mean, last week, they made Andy Dalton look like he was a rookie quarterback. Will they do that to Aaron Rodgers? Probably not. They've had very little success against him in the past, as we stated. But Bill Jones and Randy White, how do you stop this guy? That's the thing. With the Cowboys defense, if they just stand back, he's going to pick them apart. If they come and get too aggressive, he's going to roll out because we know how nimble he is, and then that creates the deep play. How do you stop this guy?
You look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers this year through 4 games, and they are atypical Aaron Rodgers numbers. He's only completing 56% of his passes this year, 6.0 yards per attempt, which is 2 yards per attempt less than what he's done throughout his career, and which is what good quarterbacks normally have in this league. I don't know exactly what's going on with Aaron Rodgers this year, or even going back to the Denver game last year. You look back over his last 16 games, it hasn't been the same Aaron Rodgers, but we'll see how he performs against the Cowboys today.
Well, Bill, Aaron Rodgers, he creates big plays by moving around in that pocket. Now, if we can stop the run, I think Lacy's got a bad ankle. We could stop him. He's not a factor in that running game. Now, when Aaron Rodgers, he's back there throwing the football, you have to stay in front of him. Your defensive lineman, when you're rushing, you have to be aware of the fact that if you can't run around your blocker because he's just going to step up. And if you have contained, you can't go for him unless you're getting covered by another guy looping out and coming around. And if you can do that, you have a good chance of controlling Aaron Rodgers. So that's what I would do. Other than that, and I'd have one of my linebackers every once in a while kind of spy on him.
How about number 50? How about
Sean Lee? That's who I'd take. I'd take Sean Lee and have him spy on Rodgers, and then when he sees his opening, when he's dancing around back there, boom, go after him. Now Green Bay's got to think about that.
All right, 4 sacks last week against Cincinnati. Much improved pass rush a week ago. Now, I'm not sure about the Bengals' offensive line, how good they are, but that's a very encouraging sign for this Dallas defensive line.
Oh, this defensive line is quiet. We hadn't allowed a 100-yard game rushing. I mean, they're playing extremely well. And, if they can continue to do this and put up these kind of numbers defensively, it's going to make it tough. I think Green Bay today, if we can do what we're talking about Green Bay's defense doing to us, if we can do that to Green Bay, I think now this line of scrimmage is going to be critical in this game today, Bill, offense and defense.
DeMarcus Lawrence had less than 20 snaps last week, but you could see that he had an impact, right?
Yes, he did. I tell you what, he was back there, and what do we say? We always say we want to disrupt the quarterback's timing. DeMarcus Lawrence was disrupting the quarterback's timing. He didn't get a sack, but he sure as heck caused a lot of disruption back there.
And he adds a lot because he's versatile. He can play the left side or the right side, and they've got several guys on that defensive line who can do that. I love the way 96 Malik Collins has been playing, the rookie third-round pick, and number 97 Terrell McClain has played well all season long. Pass defense for the Cowboys will be tested like it hasn't been tested all season today. Mo Claiborne is playing the best that he's played in his career. Brandon Carr on the other side. The safeties are playing well, too.
Yeah, these guys are playing excellent. These defensive backs, they said, at the beginning of this year, we said that was going to be the strength of this team. And I said, well, the strength of this team, it can't be that until you get a pass rush. But these guys have been creating turnovers, causing fumbles, getting interceptions. Mo Claiborne is making plays like this. Look at this play. I mean, wow. That's the way you play defensive cornerback. That's the way you do it. If they can continue to do this, they can do this against Andy Dalton. They just do this against Aaron Rodgers. That's what they have to do.
That's right, and even the rookie, Anthony Brown, has come through in a replacement for Orlando Scandrick, who is missing again today. But remember, Eddie Lacy 5.5 yards a carry. He's the only active running back on the roster for the Packers today as John Starks is out with an injury. We go back to Lambeau Field. Randy's got another bold prediction next.
In the words of Witten, sponsored by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com today.
As it's involved, I've had great coaches around me. I mean, the strength coaches over the years, and to early on just kind of break me down so that I could understand what it takes to play at this level. And then over the last couple of years, how you manage it to play at a high level week in and week out as you become more veteran.
Mom, Dad's Jason Witten. He's my favorite player.
Here you go, Mr. Witten. Special cut of Steakhouse Choice Beef.
Thanks, man.
Enjoy.
So you actually shop on game day?
Yeah, I shop for all my tailgate items at Albertsons, where I get the freshest produce and my Steakhouse Choice Beef. Hey kids, throw these jerseys on and your mom will save 10% on her groceries. Albertsons, the official supermarket of the Dallas Cowboys.
Thanks, Mr. Witten.
You're welcome, bud.
All right, final minute or so of Cowboys game day. That stadium will be filled to the brim about 4.5 hours from now. Let's get you set for Cowboys Packers with some final thoughts from Keith Russell live at Lambeau. Keith?
Hey, Bill, I ran into two brothers, one a Packers fan, one a Cowboys fan. The Packers fan kept saying that wasn't a catch. We said that's ancient history. The Cowboys fan, the other brother said 5 rings, 5 wins. The Cowboys have 5 rings. After today, they'll have 5 wins. I'm going with that brother today.
All right. You know, and Keith has been somewhere now that Randy has never been. Randy's never been to Lambeau Field. He played on the road at the Packers twice, both at County Stadium in Milwaukee. What's your bold prediction this week? You're 4-1 on the season so far.
4-1? I'm going to be 5-1, hopefully, Bill, and I'm going to pick the Cowboys again. They're going to go out there and win this football game.
Shocker of all shockers.
Surprise.
Randy has picked the Cowboys again to win this week. It should be a good one. Again, a 3:25 kickoff this afternoon. By the way, we've got the NFL Today on CBS coming up in just a matter of moments. And then we've got an NFC East team, the Giants, playing the Ravens at noon. And be sure to join me tonight on CBS 11 News at 10 o'clock as Dave Campo, former Cowboys head coach, will join us. Randy, you're ready to beat the Packers today, right?
Hey, I'm looking forward to it, Bill. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
It will be fun. We'll see you later, and we'll see you again next week right here on Cowboys Game Day, even though it's a bye week for the Cowboys will be working.